Ari Gonzalez. I need to look this way. But yeah, my name is Ari Gonzalez. I'm an artist manager and educator here in Orlando, Florida, servicing folks globally. And today is episode 29 of the Run It Back podcast. This is a music industry news podcast where I just talk about stuff that happened in the music industry this past week, as well as review music in the beginning. So we're going to start with the reviews that we have, and I have been lately giving you guys a little bit of a taste of the music just so that you guys can really hear what I'm talking about. But the first song that we have is called Victims and Villains. Victims and Villains. This is from Nicey Most featuring P. Butta, who personally is a favorite in Orlando for me. Before I play you guys a little bit of the song, this is like classic contemporary R&B. You'll hear from the production very much that. There's a good use of space within this song. I love the bridge. My biggest thing is that this needs more variation in the production. It's very, very loopy. You guys did good in terms of lyrically and vocally, but there's something that's missing, and because that production is so stale is the word I'm gonna use. It could just be so much better. It's a little bit repetitive. But overall, I really enjoy the message. It's very relatable. There's a lyric in the chorus that goes, playing the victim, but you're really the villain, which is just, I really liked it. I'm going through something similar, so I resonated with the song. Other than that, Nicey Most, because this is your song and this is housed on your DSP, please link your socials. I see in your bio that you have just the handles of what they are. That's a great start. Please link them and beef up your bio. Your bio should not just be here's where you can find me on Instagram, especially because there's a place where you can do that on your DSPs. Tell us a little bit about yourself, what you have going on, and make it more enticing for the people who are looking at your profile. But yeah, let me just play you guys a little bit of this. You can hear easily with the progression. That's the first 30 seconds. I don't want to give too much away. If you want to go ahead and listen to the full song, go into the link in my bio. There's going to be a section that says Run It Back episode 29 news links. Go ahead and click on that. You'll be able to find the direct link on Spotify to this song. And when I'm done with the live of this, when it's saved on my IGTV, I will have everything just in the description. Cam, yes, I know who you are. You're kind of an integral part of my childhood, but we're gonna push past that and keep going with the content. The next song that we have is Paint from Hannah Goldberg featuring Blank Mongno. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but this is a very pretty song. It's some low tempo folk stuff going on. I could hear a lot of sync with this, specifically with some sci-fi love stories type stuff, coming of age type stuff. Overall, it's a great mix on the vocals. The song is put together very well. It's not personally my cup of tea just because it's not the specific genre I like, but there's no denying that this song was crafted very well. So if that is your cup of tea, you're about to listen to a little bit of it. Once again, if you want to find it, you can go ahead in the link in my bio. But this is the song. Give it a second.
All dressed up in blue.
Very cute. It's giving wedding, you know? It's giving wedding for sure. But I'm not going to be unfair. That was the first 30 seconds. If you want to listen to more, once again, just go ahead to the link in my bio. You'll be able to find it. Next song that we're talking about is Mike Tyson from EZO. This is hip hop for sure. The vocals are very poignant, and I do not mean this to sound funny. This is a comedic song without trying to. So I really want to hear what it would sound like if you tried to do something with comedy, just because your vocals, first of all, your voice is unforgettable. It's unforgettable, and you just have one of those voices, but your voice is funny, and I don't mean that to sound any type of way, but I would see if you can exploit that by making some funny music. But overall, there's just some things in there in terms of variation with your production and your flow, just similar to the song that we talked about first. You just need a little bit of difference and stuff here. in order to make this as good as it could possibly be. And when I play this, you guys are going to see what I'm talking about. And like I said, I'm not trying to, be any type of way. But
part of your lyrics, you ain't even hear it. Feeling Mike Tyson right hook, undefeated. It's the best and the worst, coming from the slickest, the sickest. Yo, need a nurse? You back?
So yeah, that is that song. Once again, if you want to listen to the whole thing, go ahead and pop out into the link in my bio. The final song that we're going to talk about today before we get into the rest of the content is called Blue from Gianna Marie. Now, I could not find you on social media, which I'm upset about because this is a great song. R&B pop music, overall, the vocal mix on this is very great. It's short and sweet, which is my favorite thing. Please link your socials and add a bio onto your DSPs. Overall, similar to the second song that we talked about, like the chicks are killing it today, it's a very well-crafted song. So let's take a quick listen. Let's give it a little bit of chance in the beginning. Yeah.
I've been feeling so blue. How about you? How about you? How about you?
And this is a very commercially viable song.
If that seems cool. If that seems cool. Maybe I'll chill in my room today. Not sure what I'll do today. Re-clean cook food.
Once again, if you want to go ahead and take a listen to the whole thing, you can find that in the link in my bio. But what I was saying is that this is a very commercially viable song. Since there's two kind of distinct sounds that are going on, you can use it in several different ways. But I could hear that personally in like a Target commercial, in some kind of skincare commercial, stuff like that. So in terms of sync and stuff, I would start pitching into the commercial markets if you have that availability. And if you own 100% of the rights to that song, definitely get on some music libraries, see what you can do. But yeah, so that is the end of that section. Just to reiterate, if you want to listen to any of the music that you heard or that was talked about, find the link in my bio. All of the links are in there, and if I'm able to find them, they will be in the description of this video tagged, so you can support them directly. So next we're going into the My Like section. I feel like the past 2 weeks I haven't really had a My Like section, but I saw some cool stuff this week, so we're going to talk about it. The first thing is HBO has released a second teaser for its forthcoming music industry drama series, The Idol, starring Lily Rose Depp and Abel The Weeknd. I think this is going to be super cool. The Weeknd is doing some fun stuff coming up in terms of what he has going on with Universal. Now he has some work that he's going to be doing in the film and TV realm of entertainment. So whoever is on his team, maybe it just be like his push of like, hey, I need to start getting myself out there and working more, because the last time we talked about him, when the Universal thing kind of came out, I mentioned how he's kind of on that decline within his career, which is not a bad thing. It happens to everyone. So it's good to see that he's still working and he's still doing cool stuff. I think it would be really interesting if we saw him take just a transition into primarily being an actor and then being able to have his music placed within the films that he's working on. A very lucrative thing. I think that would be super smart with him. So we'll see how he, what his chops are like, and what he can make out of this. But yeah, if that's something that you're interested in, definitely go watch it. I'll probably end up watching it because it's a music industry drama series. So I think that it'll be super interesting. The next story that we're going to talk about: California State Senate passed a bill that would limit the use of rap lyrics as evidence in criminal proceedings, a controversial and common practice by prosecutors that has garnered national attention amid the indictment in Georgia against the rappers Young Thug and Gunna. So if you've been watching this series for a while, every once in a while we kind of check up on what's going on with the push towards a federal mandate of taking away the ability to use rap lyrics in court and be able to use it as evidence against the artists who are performing these songs. Especially, there's a bunch of reasons behind it, but thankfully we're seeing another state pass legislation about it. This is California. I think that it'll be very beneficial to Californians just because it's California. A lot of the entertainment industry is there, so a lot of people are making music that could possibly incriminate them that no longer will have the ability to. So once again, this will probably be something that we continue to check up on as stories come out about it, but this has been going on for a while with folks like Jay-Z just kind of pushing for it continuously, because it is an important thing. A lot of these lyrics are written by a team, not one specific person, and to be able to utilize those things in court and have someone be sentenced to years and years and years and years that they're never going to get back is really not a good thing. Definitely hard rock evidence is always going to be something that I'm like, that's what you should be indicted on, not the lyrics in a piece of art. You know what I mean? Moving on, because that was too much to talk about for one story. This week, this is actually one of my favorite stories of the week, hands down. Audiomack rolled out its new Premiere Access feature, which enables artists to reward their biggest fans with early access to not yet officially released music. I saw this and I was like, this is interesting. I wonder how artists are going to be compensated. So artists can trigger Premiere Access on their unreleased track/album by selecting the feature when they upload their work to Audiomack, while also choosing the duration of the pre-release access window they'd like to grant their biggest fans. To be eligible for Premiere Access, artists have to be enrolled in the Audiomack monetization program. Once this has been completed, and Act's superfans are able to see that Premiere Access is available for an upcoming track. And to unlock this access, these fans have to become supporters of the artist in question. Supporters is a feature that Audiomack launched late last year in tandem with partners such as Warner Music Group. This allows fans on the platform to directly monetarily contribute songs and albums from the artists they love. So this is super cool. The only way that you can listen to the unreleased window music on Audiomack is if you're putting money straight into the pockets of these artists. I think this is super cool. I think it's a great opportunity for artists to be able to make some extra money. It's a great opportunity for fans to build a closer connection to the artists that they love. So I'm excited to see how this all plays out, but overall I think this is a great idea, a great system. If you're already on Audiomack, or if you're not doing so yet, I would definitely look into it more. Audiomack has been, I know plenty of people who have been able to gain real traction utilizing no advertising, so no marketing where they're having to come out of their pocket, and they've been able to do very well on it. So I would definitely look into it, and definitely, if you're using it, integrate this onto something that you're already doing as you're on the platform. Another stream of income is never a bad thing. So the final story that we have within the My Likes section, while concert promoter and manager Chuck Morris has worked in the music industry for nearly 5 decades, he's also had a longtime dream of starting a music program for Colorado University. Morris, who's been CEO of AEG Presents Rocky Mountains for the past 14 years, will get that chance as director of a new cross-disciplinary music business program with Colorado State University's College of Business that is set to offer courses this fall. Super cool. I always enjoy seeing people, specifically the fact that it's Chuck Morris, he's a gatekeeper, actually coming into the classroom, creating curriculum, and working with a new generation of industry leaders. That is super important. That is super awesome. If that's something that you're interested in, if you have to be in Colorado, if you're trying to move to Colorado, if you want to go to Colorado State and you think that this is pretty cool, definitely go check it out. Like they said, it's set to offer courses this fall. So do some more research, see if it's the right thing for you, or just be like me and say, that's cool. I'm going to, tell more people about it. Next section that we have is called Industry Updates. This is usually the longest section of the podcast. We're going to talk a lot of just like position changes and things like that towards the beginning, but we'll get into some other stuff towards the end. With that said, I'm going to try to push through it. Young Money has promoted Karen Civil to general manager and executive vice president of Lil Wayne's Young Money Records, overseeing the label's operations and reporting directly to CEO Mac Main. Along with Lil Wayne, the label's roster includes many people that I'm not going to go over right now. Ben Kadzowski has been named president and chief operating officer of Hypnosis Song Management Limited, effective October 1st, reporting directly to CEO Merck Marcadius. He was previously COO at BMG for 7 years and began his career at Counterpoint Systems. Audiomack has promoted Jason Johnson to Senior VP of Marketing and Brand Strategy. According to the announcement, he will spearhead the brand's growth strategy across North America and continue expansion efforts throughout Africa. I'm sorry, you guys. Clearly, I am not okay. Okay. Universal Music Group has promoted publishing executive David Gray to an expanded role as head of newly created UMPG Global Creative Group. He will also continue as executive VP and head of US A&R. Gray will be working from New York, where he reports to UMPG chairman and CEO Jody Gerson. Secretly Publishing has promoted Eddie Zakazwe, who will now serve as the company's first ever senior director of A&R since joining Secretly in 2020 after founding the LA-based Abstract Management. Zakazwe has been a member of the A&R team for both Secretly Publishing and Secretly Group of Label Records. Sean Stevens has been promoted to Vice President of A&R and Head of Research at Analytics for Warner Records. He is based in the label's Los Angeles headquarters and reports to co-chairman and CEO Aaron Bay Shook. Since joining Warner in 2018 from Big Machine Label Group, he was discovered or worked closely with artists including Teddy Swims and a whole bunch of people, including BK The Rule. I gotta shout her out. For those of you, specifically artists who are watching, when I'm talking about these different job changes, especially in the realm of A&R, please do your due diligence and look up who these people are, especially if they A&R for a label or a company that you're interested in working on or working with. A lot of the times, you may not think so, but finding A&Rs is way more accessible than finding like your average rep, right? If you find them on social media, if you're able to get their contact information, it never hurts to reach out to them, especially if you're coming real professional with it and you're able to give them the tools that they need to actually find out who you are and if they want to work with you. Your EPKs all together, you got some leverage, find out who you're pitching to, for sure. A lot of the times, and this is not a diss, because if you don't know, I can't fault you, right? But a lot of the times artists are just kind of blindly sending out music to people who they don't know if they can really help them or not. So when I'm talking about these things and the positions that are changing, it's important to know who is doing what at one company. If you know that you want to be at Epic and you want to be signed to Epic, I would suggest that you figure out who is their head of publishing, who is their A&R, who are the people that you would likely be interacting with if you did get signed. Who do you need to talk to actually help you get signed? All of these different things. So if that's something that you haven't been doing as this series has progressed, I definitely recommend that you start doing so. Of course, you want the people on your team to know what's going on, but if you don't have a team yet, that is your job to figure out who is doing what and why. I'm done with my rant on that. We're going to talk about some other stuff. Republic Records has launched a kids and family division spearheaded by the appointment of Bree Bowles as VP of Marketing and Strategy. The new expansion is focused on singing, developing, and releasing family-friendly projects with additional major partnerships to be unveiled very soon. I think this is super cool. I think this is definitely not an untapped market, but an interesting and an important market to hone in on, because there are plenty of families all across America that need music that they can all listen to, especially when you're thinking about that age range between, like 0 and 13 or so. There's parents out there who want to make sure they know that they have a catalog of music besides Kids Bop and different, Coco Melon and shit like that they can give to their kids that they can also enjoy. So I think that this is super cool, and there's definitely a lot of opportunity in this market, because family-friendly stuff isn't just music. There are amusement parks. There are other things like Chuck E. Cheese and events and spaces of that realm. There is commercials. There is toys. There's a lot of opportunity for this music to be placed in different areas to just make it as profitable as possible. Next, we have Andrea Johnson, Emily Yoon, and Erica Noguchi have joined Wasserman Music to aid with symphonic performances and the development of intellectual property for the live music space. The Blues Foundation has appointed former music manager and agent former board member Kimberly Horton as interim president and CEO, with the recent departure of former president and CEO Judith Black. Horton says she looks forward to leading the Blues Foundation through its next chapter and upcoming signature events, including the International Blues Challenge in January of 2023, as well as the Blues Music Awards in May 2023. Woo! This one is super cool. This low-key should be in Web 3, but we got a bunch of stuff to go over in Web 3, so we're just going to push through it. Sony Music Entertainment is, which their Japan sector of it is what we're specifically talking about, is working on 2 major virtual talent projects right now, one of which is called the largest virtual talent development and management project of history. Sony Music Entertainment Japan recently launched a global talent audition for real-life creators to work as virtual characters via the Tokyo-based Prism project. That is cool in itself. We'll see what they pay them. But anyways, described in a press release as a member of Sony Music Entertainment Japan, family of virtual talent brands. On Prism Project's website, it's referred to as a multinational VTuber agency from the future. According to SMEJ, Prism Project is backed by Sony Music industry leading expertise in talent management, voice acting, music production, event production, and digital technology, and it aims to push the boundaries of the virtual talent space by providing growth and development opportunities unrivaled in the industry today. I think this is super interesting. We're just going to keep seeing stuff like this come out. And, you know, the thing that is going to really determine how well this kind of stuff does, first of all, it depends on who they're marketing it to. If they want it to do well amongst elite people, then accessibility is out of the question. But if, like I believe that they want to make just virtual reality and Web3 a global phenomenon. If it's Web3, it has to be everywhere. That means it also has to be accessible. So being able to attend these virtual events and have interactions and just not necessarily relationships, but access truly to these virtual artists and different things like that is going to be critical to allowing this to spread. You know, if let's say you have a virtual show or Live Nation decides to do virtual stuff, if it's difficult to go and actually participate in, it's going to be hard to get it off the ground. That is if they wanted to make it a global phenomenon, which I believe they do. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how everyday people like you and I are able to access these things as they continue to come out, you know. But yeah, just keep an eye on it, especially if it's something that you're interested in. I'm definitely of the belief that when it's done right, there are so many people doing it that it's going to get done right. I believe that when it gets done right and it's adopted by everyone as the norm, that Web3 virtual events and these kind of like AI characters and stuff like that, which we'll talk about in a little bit, will be heavily normalized and be, you know, way more normal than what we see it as now. Because right now, a lot of people think it's the devil. A lot of people are scared by it. A lot of people don't even have any clue what it is. So we'll see. The final story that we have within the section, the Music Business Academy for Africa has partnered with U.S. music distribution company The Orchard for its second installment of its talent project. The partnership offers 7 emergent acts an opportunity to properly launch their music careers to a global audience. It will see The Orchard provide financing for the development of the artist from song creation to release. The company will also provide marketing and promotional support for releasing an EP from the talent project. This is super cool. This is something that I foresee the Music Business Academy of Africa doing for a while. So if that's where you're at, or you're planning to go over there, or this sounds something interesting to you, find out who you can get involved. If you are a professional, they also have similar stuff like that going on. So find out how you can get involved. But this is super cool stuff, and it's just gonna keep continuing to bolster the African music industry, which is super important. There's so much amazing music coming out of the continent, and it's influencing a lot of shit that's going on. Let's be like very transparent. So being able to continue to see it grow is definitely a beautiful thing, and not just in the sense of watching the art that comes out of it grow, but also being able to see the professionality and the business aspect of it grow, so that all of this talent and art isn't just exported out, and that Africa can really reap the benefits of the trends that they're setting. So next we're going to talk about Web3. This is another long section. It hasn't been this long in a minute. It's not super long. We're going to get through it. We're going to get through it though. Hip hop is now in the world of artificial intelligence. A rapper named FM Mecca, which is powered by AI, has signed with major label. According to the Music Business Worldwide, on August 17th, the robot rapper FM Mecca has signed a deal with Capitol Records and dropped his first single, Florida Water, which features Gunna and gaming streamer Clicks. The funny, absolutely hilarious part about this is I didn't even get the whole Lord. The funniest part about this is that a whole week did not go by until we have another story. Capitol Music Group, the company that houses major record labels including Capitol and Blue Note, said on Tuesday that it was severing ties with its latest controversial artist, FN Mecca, a virtual robot rapper powered partially by artificial intelligence, who boasts more than 10 million followers on TikTok. The company had previously teased the project, the first augmented reality artist assigned to a major label, it said, as just a preview of what's to come. Yet after a growing backlash to what skeptical observers said amounted to digital blackface, including content that seemed to trivialize the incarceration and police brutality of the black community, Capitol said it had severed its ties with FN Mecca project, effective immediately. That's crazy to me. The fact that the first story that I have in Web3 is about how he's getting signed and not even a week later he's getting dropped. I don't know if you can really drop him. I don't have enough information to like truly talk about this, but I've seen a lot of things of like, there's not, a lot of people don't know who's truly behind FM Mecca, who really created it. And there's been, people saying that there's no black folks involved, that there's been lies, that there's been deceit, I don't know. Personally, let's sign some real human beings who need some money and who need some help along their career. That's my thing with it. I definitely, there's no denying that like AI rappers and musicians are going to have a place in the industry. It's going to happen. I've talked about this like many episodes ago, but the reason is because an AI it's not conscious. It has no decisions to be made. It does not care about anything because it's not a person. So you can do whatever the fuck you want to it. There's also not the issue of like drug problems, possible death in general. All of that is out of the bag because it's not a real human being. It is a completely moldable thing that you can make it do whatever you want. And there's a lot of profit involved with that. In my opinion, the music industry's ideal artist is an artist who is not a human being, because then you can do whatever you want. They're not going to have anything to say about it. They can go on tour for fucking 50 hours straight, have no breaks because they don't need them. So it's going to happen. But we'll see what happens. We'll see how it progresses because, as the story goes, this was the first AI rapper that was actually signed. So we'll see what happens with the next one, if he gets dropped or if she gets dropped or I don't know. We'll see what happens, how it progresses. But I think that like just accepting the fact that it's going to happen, because I don't know why people are mad. Because I don't know. We're going to move on because I'm going to end up talking about this for like way too long. Kingship, the NFT supergroup created by Universal Music's 10/22 p.m. joint venture, will essentially become the Van Halen of the metaverse when they get their own M&Ms. What? And will appear on little limited edition candy boxes. I was real confused about that, but that's literally the story. Yeah, I think it's going to be super cool to see this progress and see how this group specifically and groups like it are going to reap the benefits because, as we talked about with FM Mecca, this is a whole group of virtual artists that, Universal can just do whatever the fuck they want with them. And I just think also being able to witness the competition between like AI rappers and artists, I think is going to be really interesting, especially like real time in virtual reality. Like, what would you do if you saw like the biggest AI rapper like on stage and then another AI rapper like came up and like they started like having a rap battle and then each fans are like fighting each other in virtual reality and there's like a war? I don't know. I think it would be interesting. I think it's gonna be interesting. Once again, we just have to stay cognizant of what's going on in these spaces and then just see how they progress. If you have the ability and want to get into it, but I hope you know as much as about it as much as you can. If you don't want to get into it, you definitely still have to learn about it because as you can see, it's unavoidable. Okay. Next, we have Hi-Fi Labs, which is an artist mentorship collective, has opened applications for their upcoming Web3 artist cohort program, marking its official launch and the first time the program is open to the public. This is another one of those things. If this is something that you're interested in, go check it out. I recommend that you go to the link in my bio, find the Run It Back episode 29 news link section, scroll down to Web3, and you'll be able to find this story. Start there. Anything else you can find out about in terms of the application process and just getting involved, a good way to start is there, or you can Google it. It's up to you. Next, we have American singer-songwriter Miley Cyrus is the latest celebrity to make her name brand to the metaverse. She has officially applied for several metaverse and non-fungible token related trademarks. Cool. Already talked about FM Mecca getting dropped. Eminem and Snoop Dogg will perform in the metaverse at the MTV's Music Video Awards on Sunday. This is cool. You already know that means that not next week, but the week after that, I'm going to be talking about the MTV Video Music Awards. So just prepare. We're coming up on the end. We have 4 stories left. So if you've made it this far, thank you for sticking around and watching. I hope that you found it enjoyable, pleasant, and informative. But artist, singer, songwriter. Well, before we're gonna talk about some deals, acquisitions, and partnerships. Primarily, we're okay. I'm just gonna go. Okay, artist, song. Oh God. Something's wrong. Okay. Artist, songwriter, producer Tajiri Akpogne and Abovav Play have signed a global publishing agreement in partnership with Ultra Music Publishing and Coup d'Etat Music. Then we have Tres Generaciones Tequila has announced a partnership with R&B singer Giveon for his newest marketing campaign for something that they have called Get Up Trace as a part of the brand's recent relaunch. That's going to be some great money going into Giveon's pocket. I'm sure it's going to help this brand of tequila just get in front of a whole bunch of new people and maybe shift their market a little bit. So we'll see how that plays out. Overall, just a lesson of kind of the different opportunities that you can take as an artist. Because to break this down, we haven't really talked about it on the podcast before. So like, a partnership is beneficial for both parties, right? So with Giveon, he's going to be getting a check. Whatever their contract is, he's going to be getting a check for. They also may end up putting, licensing some of his music and having having some of his music in their latest commercials and stuff like that, which is always going to be a great opportunity for Giveon. Now, this company, the reason that they're comfortable going into partnership with Giveon, first of all, he has a huge fan base, but what does that translate to? He's going to be talking about this a lot. This is just a form of marketing for them. They are able to utilize his audience to market their product. So that is really what it's all about. I mean, I think that's pretty self-explanatory, but if that wasn't something that you had, the ups on, there you go. And you can start doing stuff like this starting out very low in terms of your numbers and stuff like that. If you don't know about just like influencer marketing in general and like niche and small influencer marketing, there are people who got 500 fucking followers on Instagram who get brand partnership deals, and it's not necessarily things that are directly upfront, but are things that utilize this code and get 15% off, and then they also within that transaction are getting sent 5 to 10, 15%, whatever it may be. So you can really start this process as big as you want it to. Definitely also think about these things when you're meeting people who have smaller brands that are local to you, who may need some help getting out there. Even if you don't have to have a huge audience to start doing this. You just have to know who your audience is. And if you have a strong engagement, that's really what you want to be focusing on. If you have 500 followers, but you get 300 likes every picture that you post, you have a very strong engagement. Those people really care about what you have to say. They enjoy watching you post. So if you post something that has to do with, them purchasing something that you believe in and that you can help them get a discount on, chances are they're going to get it. So yeah, just like I said, be cognizant of that. And really get into, your local scene of like who's vending at the events that you're at. What are they willing to pay you? Are they willing to just shoot you some free stuff so that you know, can post a couple things about it? First of all, there's more content for you to put into your little calendar so that you can stay consistent. You get some free stuff, and you help a local company out. So, you know, you can do these kind of things at all stages. You just got to get in where you fit in and make decisions and relationships that are cohesive to it. Next, we're talking about some artist accomplishments. So we have the Florida rapper Rod Wave tops the latest Billboard album chart with his album Beautiful Mind. This opened with the equivalent of 115,000 sales in the United States, including 158 million streams, according to the tracking service Luminate, with tracks like Youngin' featuring Jack Harlow performing particularly well on Apple Music. The total take for Beautiful Mind was a bit less than than what Wave had for Soulfly, his last #1 album, which opened with 189 million streams in April of 2021. The last story of the episode, you guys. I'm here for the Barbs. I hope the Barbs are here for me, but we're going to be talking about your queen, Nicki Minaj. The rapper has earned her first solo #1 hit on the Billboard Hot 100 this week with her Rick James sampling Super Freaky Girl. You know, he won a FREAK. Congratulations to Nicki. You know, she's definitely deserving of everything in terms of accolades and awards and things like that, and just accomplishments. She's been in the game for a while. She's paved a lot of roads. She's fucking uber talented. So just big ups to her. Big ups to the Barbs, because I know that her accomplishments are like y'all's accomplishments. If you want to learn about what a fucking fandom is, go check out Twitter and just search up Nicki Minaj, and you will have a master class on how to be a fan. Okay, with that being said, you guys, that is the end of the episode. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed. I definitely have been fumbling over my words a lot today. That happens a lot of days though, so I try not to get stressed out about it. Just to reiterate, if you want to listen to any of the music that I reviewed in the beginning of this podcast, or if you would like to take a look at any of the just stories that I talked about, go ahead into the link in my bio, where you will be able to find a subsection of it that says Run It Back episode 29 news links. Click on that. It'll have all the information for you. Down below, I'm going to be tagging the artists that their music that I reviewed today, if they had their stuff linked and they're smart, or if they know. I don't want to phrase it like that. But yeah, go ahead and support them directly. We have some folks that are directly in Orlando today, so definitely go show them some love. If you would like to listen to my favorite submissions that I've gotten over the past, 30, 40 weeks, go ahead. Again, in the link in my bio, there's a link that says Run It Back Faves. It's some fucking great music on there. I try to keep it as diverse in genre as possible. People from all around the globe, so definitely go check it out. It's a great playlist. It's not curated specifically. It's just like week by week. But it is great. So go show them some love. Go support it. Other than that, my name is Ari Gonzalez. I'm an artist, educator, and manager here in Orlando, Florida, servicing folks globally at my company, Dare and Defy. We dare to defy in these motherfucking streets. If you're interested in submitting for next week, go ahead and either send me a DM, or you can send me an email in the contact thing in my bio. There's my email. If you would like anything from me, whether you just want to talk about the music industry, you have any questions, my arms and my DMs are always open, and I'm always willing to respond. If you would like anything that has to do with content calendars, marketing plans, planning your event, anything along those lines, or just advice on the music industry and what you're doing in your career, if you need some help with some next steps and things like that, definitely let me know. Like I said, my arms and my DMs are always open, and I'm always looking to help. So with that being said, once again, I probably said it like 5 times. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for watching on Twitch too. I know it probably feels like I'm not directly talking to you, because I'd be like over here. But I appreciate you guys as well. This is the second official episode on Twitch. So hopefully we continue to grow. Bye. Adios. Bye.